All right, we are live. Can you hear us? There we go. What's up, Kenny?
Oh, it's been a chore getting logged on here, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we were having some audio issues. We got it all set up now. We can hear you and you hear us, so we're all good. We're all set. We're going to get started here in 30 seconds. See a bunch of people getting logged in, so we're going to give them a couple seconds to get logged in and we'll get rolling.
Awesome, awesome. You got the whole family today, huh?
Good morning, everybody.
Where's Mitch?
She's logging in somewhere.
Okay. Even nice to see you.
Good to see you. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year to you. Hi,
All right.
Tyson.
All right, as we get started, if you can and are able to, I'm just letting a couple more people in the room. This is going to be very interactive. I'm going to hit record here in a second, and this is going to be interactive. You're going to be actually doing this work right here alongside us, and so you should have your camera on, mic on, ready to interact and contribute. So we're going to hit record, and we are going to get going. All right, let's do it. I got you on a couple different screens. So if I'm looking over to this direction, that's you guys on the camera. The screen shared, just give me a thumbs up if you can see the shared screen. All right, awesome, perfect. So this is going to be Domination Day 2026. This is literally the process, the framework that we've used with our family and our clients and every business for at least the last decade. And it's constantly getting fine-tuned and refined so that you could take and reflect and review and revisit the past and previous year of 2025 and take all that data information so that you can preview, plan, and prepare for the upcoming year here of 2026. So you can dominate the year using all that reflection and review from the previous year. And then we're going to take all that and go into some goal setting for the year in all different areas, kind of walk you through how to actually properly set goals. And then you're going to start all this work we're going to do right here. So every one of these sections, we might call on you or might be asking you to interact. So be ready to jump in and sit there with a pen in hand. You should be taking notes, and you're also going to be answering a lot of these questions, both on paper and live on the camera here. This is an implementation workshop. It means we're doing this working as we're going through it. So it's not just sitting here listening. This is a back and forth. It's a conversation. At any time, if you have a question, something to add in, or you want to answer one of the questions, just click the raise hand thing on your Zoom, and we'll jump. You could jump right in. So we're going to start off right off the bat before we get into this rating. Real quick, I just want to hear from a couple of you. What are you looking to get out of this workshop today? It's a Saturday. You can be doing a lot of things. What are you looking? What would be a win? What's the outcome you're looking for when it comes to this workshop? Someone just click and raise your hand, and we'll unmute you and you can jump in. Who has something they want to share about what they're actually looking to get out of this today?
Hey, Steve, I'll jump in there.
All right, what's up? What you got?
Hey, this is Mark Gutierrez. I'm looking to dial in, get focused, completely focused on my goals. I've had them, I've worked on them, I've achieved some stuff in life, and but as a father, I'm looking to take it to the next level. So,
Hell yeah, awesome.
That's what I'm looking for.
Hell yeah, I'm confident you're going to leave with that today. Kenny, how about you? What are you looking to get out of this workshop today?
Steve, I would look to really wrap up 2025 and to dial in on some big victories, which I typically kind of let go. So it's just putting a bow on this last year and having a good plan for 2026. Want to get some strategies out of this today, moving forward for 2026.
Awesome. Anyone else have anything you want to share about what you're looking to get out of this today specifically? All might have different reasons. Andy, what you got?
Hey, Steve, good to meet you. Time management. I have written down in front of me every day 168 hours, which is what we have in a week. And I'm the classic Mike Tyson, you have a plan until you get a punch in the mouth. And it falls apart for me. So I just have to really it doesn't matter what's going on for this hour. This is what I'm doing. And I don't care who's texting me, who's calling me, what fire has to be put out. I got to get this shit done so I can move on to the next thing.
Hell yeah, awesome. I like it. I like it. And by the way, Andy's the only one that actually followed the instructions. The instructions said to click the raise hand thing, but that's all right. We're going to jump right into this. So we're going to now take this. You look on the screen. So when I'm going to be moving your cameras over, I have your cameras here. I'm going to move over to the second screen just so I could see this over here bigger, so I can see you all on the cameras over there. You're going to rate your year. So on just paper and pen, you're going to rate your year on a scale of 1 to 5 in 22 different categories. We're just going to run through them really fast. So just keep up. If you miss one, we'll go back and let you know what it was if you missed it. But we're going to kind of fly through these pretty quick because we have a ton of stuff to get to here in the next hour and 15 minutes. So rate your scale 1 to 10 on each of these. And when you think of these, you're going to have a word. So it's a total score of 110. So the word role model. You're not going to score yourself yet. I'm going to give you a quick, brief explanation how I want you to think of role model and how I want you to score it. And then you're going to score it on a scale of 1 to 5. And at the end, you'll tally up your numbers. And also, I want you to think of each of these as a whole life score. So you want to think on the personal side and professional side combined together. What's the score of 1 out of 5? So if you think, all right, on personal, it's like a 5, but professional, it's a 1. That means your score is probably a 2 or a 3 because you're going to combine together as a whole life score. So the first one is role model, and you should have a paper and pen because you need to track these so you could keep track of your numbers and see where you need to step up your game. So on role model, I want you to think if you have influence and persuasion this year and you're the man or woman your kids want to emulate, you're guiding and treating other people well this year, you're just the role model husband, father, wife, mother. So just rate yourself 1 to 5. And again, we're going to run through these real quick. So just the number that pops in your head. If you're stuck in between numbers, usually you should go down to the lower one rather than up. Usually that's the better way to do it. So number 2 is discipline. On discipline, you have structure, control, strategy, integrity. You're disciplined in controlling your emotions. You have mental toughness, which is emotional discipline and emotional resilience. You're able to stay focused and on track and not get too high, not get too low. You're also disciplined in just trusting the process, staying committed, consistent, and then, of course, discipline, a huge one in your fitness and nutrition. So to score yourself 1 to 5 on those. And I'll just keep checking over here on your guys' camera. If anyone has anything, just hit that raise hand button if you have a question or need me to repeat something. Number 3 is your energy. 2 crazies hanging from a tree. Your energy is you generate your own energy, but you're also an energy source for other people. And you manage your own mental and physical energy well. You're not burning yourself out. You're sustained energy throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year. Don't forget, we're talking about the entire year of 2025, not how you finished, not how you're feeling right now. You want to score yourself on the year as a whole, an average of the entire year, an average of personal and professional combined together. So the energy is also just having the endurance, the strength, the durability, the energy to last through. And it's infectious. When you step into a room, there's infectious energy that you have that passion and spirit for life. So score it on a scale of 1 to 5. Confidence. Your confidence score is your faith and belief in yourself and that attitude, the way that you show up. But you're confident because you prepared and you have training and practice. The confidence, you're in your ability to figure shit out. And you're just really confident in who you are and how you show up, and you're confident in your communication and the way you interact with other people. And it shows when you enter a room. So give yourself a score of confidence on a scale of 1 to 5. Number 5 is your kill score, your action attack score. This is you're able to push and pressure yourself and the people around you. You're also able to motivate yourself and the people around you. This means just getting up off your ass, just walking the walk, talking with your feet. You just have a bias for action in making shit happen. It's just that aggressive, violently, no holds barred approach to the year. Don't forget, it's the entire year. This is a kill and action in your decision making, your problem solving, every task and relationship in life. You just get it freaking done. Kill score 1 to 5. Number 6 is your freak score. Bet you didn't know you're going to wake up on a Saturday morning and jump on a Zoom and rate yourself on how much of a freak you are, but we are. When we say freak, this means it's actually an acronym. We're not going to go into that right now, but this is the next level of being a role model. This is where you are really being unique, being polarizing, being yourself, and living life on your own terms, marching to the beat of your own drum, and not giving a fuck what people around you think, or at least the people that don't matter, what they think. But you're not being an asshole about it. You're doing it with humility and courage. So rate yourself on your freak score 1 to 5. We're going to go into next, clarity, number 7. Clarity is you know your why, and you're lived intentionally this entire year of 2025. You're clear on who you need to be for each situation. You're clear on your mission, your vision, your values, your goals, your priorities, and the lifestyle that you want to live. So give yourself a score of clarity for 1 to 5. And then number 8 is your mindset and positivity. Put those two together, because when we think of mindset, it could be positive or negative. So we're saying specifically on the positive side, how positive was your mindset this year? You're able to find the upside to everything. You always find the win. No matter what happens, you're finding the lesson. You either win or you get a lesson. And that's what a positive mindset is. You're able to weaponize everything that's going on, everything that happens to you. So number 8 was mindset, positivity, score at 1 to 5. Number 9, we have obsessed. You know your why, and you're always working towards it obsessively. You're obsessed with attaining your goals, but you're also obsessed with excellence, with committing to excellence. You're obsessed with constantly getting better every day, just growth and leveling up and learning and developing new skills. You're also obsessed in your free time with never-ending improvement, development, and knowledge. Give yourself a score for obsessed 1 to 5. Number 10 is leadership. For this one, first, I want to hear what do you think? Who wants to jump in? What do you consider leadership? When you hear leadership, how do you describe leadership? Who's got something they want to share? Put your hand up, and we'll jump in, and then you jump in. What does leadership mean to you, pretty much? Mark, what's up?
Leadership is having influence over others, leading yourself first, and then just setting the example for others. Getting them motivated, basically setting the example is the main thing.
Hell yeah, awesome. Andy, what does leadership mean to you? So you popping in there too.
I agree. It's all action. It's no talk. It's leading with action and showing yourself and showing everyone else around you that you're very clear on what you're doing. You're just getting shit done all the time.
Hell yeah, awesome. So take those things that they just said. Absolutely, those are ball up what leadership is, and then also take in your own head what leadership is too, because there's different types of leaders. So just think of your leadership style. But really, if you ball them all up together, I think what everyone said is really you just make everyone around you better. You just improve the situation around you just by being there. That's really what a leader does when you really put an umbrella over it. So take the idea of making everyone around you better, take what Andy and Mark both just said, and then whatever else leadership means to you, and then give yourself a score from that perspective on a scale 1 to 5. Again, remember, for the entire year, averaged out from 2025. So if you sucked ass for the first 9-10 months and you finally got your shit together in November, December, like a lot of people do, because they start stressing the end of the year, that'd be a pretty low score. Also, don't forget, we're combining personal and professional. So if you're good in one and not the other, it needs to all average out 12 months and personal and professional. A lot to go into it to calibrate on the fly here. So give yourself a score for leadership, 1 to 5. Number 11 is your mission. You put the mission above yourself, moving the mission forward. You're always moving the needle on the important things, that the top priorities. And you give yourself a score on mission, 1 to 5. We're just also live on YouTube. I'm just checking comments over here. Someone on YouTube said, "Bro, stop yapping. Nobody listening this shit." Okay. There's a YouTube for you. All right, let's keep rolling. Number 12, connect. Connect. I focused on intentionally generating, cultivating, and elevating relationships and communication with other humans. That's social time with your friends, your family, your partner, your spouse, your goat, whatever the hell you're into. And you're just regularly meeting new people. Just your connect score, creating those social experiences. Give yourself a connect score for 1 to 5. We're going to fly through these, so just keep up. Number 13 is productivity. Productivity is getting more quality work done in less time so that you have more time to do the shit that you really want to be doing or that you need to be doing. Also, it's working on the things that matter most each day. You're progressing your major goals and dreams. You're sticking to your time blocks. You're productive in your time blocks. You're not falling victim to distraction or time or energy wasting activities or time or energy wasting people and situations. And you're also productive in your free time, your downtime with learning and education, constantly getting better. So give yourself a score for productivity, 1 to 5. Don't forget entire 2025, averaging out personal and professional. Number 14 is create. Your create score. You're creating tangible things that are going to move the needle. That could be any kind of content or marketing materials, videos, SOPs, but actually creating things, sales pages, emails. You just are creative and you're actually building things, making things that are going to be used in the future and forever, for years to come. So give yourself a score on create of 1 to 5. There's a few left to go. Number 15 is your close score. This is a closer, closing business, actually closing deals or making moves in the direction that's going to close business. But it also means closing agreements, closing arguments, coming to conclusions, really problem solving, closing the loops on things, not leaving a bunch of open loops, getting things done, seeing things across the finish line. So give yourself a score for close for 2025 on a scale of 1 to 5. Number 16 is your courage. Yes, that's doing push-ups at the wedding on the altar because that's just what I wanted to do. But you have courage to ask for help and not suffer in silence, sharing your real self and your thoughts and your feelings, courage to stand up for yourself and for other people who maybe can't stand up for themselves, protecting those that can't protect themselves. And you're taking action and doing what you think is right despite the risk or the challenges, or if it's the unpopular decision. Give yourself a score for courage, 1 to 5. All right, number 17, last few, family. I want you to think of family from this way, that you're focusing on your family equally to your fitness and finances. So when we say fitness, that means really you're taking care of yourself, not just your physical fitness, you're just really taking care of yourself. So yourself is your fitness. Your finances is not just how much money you made, but the business. So when we say that you focus on your family equally to your fitness, that means you didn't neglect your family in order to take care of yourself and make yourself better, or in order to push the business forward. This is creating memorable experiences. So give yourself a score, a brutally honest score on family, on rating yourself 1 to 5 in the family, making your family better this year. Now, fitness, I want you to think of the same way. So you focused on your fitness equally to your family and your finances, meaning you didn't neglect yourself in order to just take care of your family and take care of the business. So that's the way I want you to think of it. That fitness is really that physical, mental, emotional fitness of taking care of yourself, your own work on yourself, your own personal development. And then finances, the exact same way. The third piece of that is you focused on your finances equally to your family and your fitness. So that means you didn't neglect the business and the professional work just because you were leading the family and working on yourself. So give yourself a score on finances, 1 to 5. And number 20 is your faith. We got a couple more, so we're only going to 22. Number 20 is your faith, just that belief and spirituality in yourself and the other people and just the world and the universe in general. And faith in a higher power, something bigger than yourself, something more important than just yourself, something outside of yourself. So give yourself a score on faith for 1 to 5. Number 21 is fulfillment. It's pretty much combining all these together. You're just living according to your purpose. You're full of life and living according to that higher calling. And the last one is your no excuses score. So important that it's tattooed on my freaking arm just so I never forget and don't act like a little bitch and make excuses. Your no excuses score is taking responsibility and accountability for all of your actions and all of the actions of all the people that you lead. You're never making any excuses, but also this is where most people get caught up, is never accepting any excuses. So there's one thing that, like, we all have our buttons that push us, that make us just almost snap. For me, it's when people make fucking excuses. I can't stand it. And so give yourself a no excuses score, 1 to 5, right? Go real quick, take out your little fruit phone or your abacus and tally up your entire number out of 110 and see what your total score is. And we're going to break it down here in a second. All right, who had either, as you see your total score, if you think, all right, I'm going to score myself on how I did this year in all these areas, out of 110, who had either a higher or a lower score than you would have thought ahead of time? Like, what do you think of your score? Was it who had something that was either higher or lower than they thought it was going to be? Someone hop in, raise your hand, and jump in there. Like you're a little surprised by the score, like you didn't think it would be that low, or maybe you thought you had a worse year than you did. You didn't think it would be that high. Or just any thoughts on your score in general. What are the thoughts when you break it down? What did you get out of this? What did you recognize? What did you notice? What did you not realize maybe until just now? Like what did you come up with on this exercise? Who's got some input or feedback for this drill? Mark. Apparently Mark's the only one whose microphone is working today. You guys need to get your audio situated.
Hey, Steve. I noticed there's room for improvement. I got a 49. I put a 49. Setting my standards high, especially as a father. Fitness and things that really matter. So professional. I feel like I pushed that so hard to a new level, but I need to focus more on the family, finances, and the faith, especially the faith and the fitness. So the small things that will take business to the next level and really make me feel grounded as a man.
Awesome. And the purpose isn't to beat yourself down. The purpose is to give you self-awareness, just like that, to see the different areas where like, oh shit, you didn't even think of it and need to improve. Andy, what do you got? What'd you come up with?
I think I'm kind of where I thought I would fall in, kind of middle of the pack. Definitely room for improvement, not at the bottom, but nowhere near the top.
Alika, what's up? Good to see you.
How you doing, Steve? I actually have my scores from the last 2 years, and this is the lowest I've ever scored myself was for this time. And I thought it was interesting because 2025 for me was a lot of learning, just a lot of it. The whole thing was just me pivoting, trying to figure shit out on the dime because just everything seemed out of control. Even though financially did better, spent more time with my family, just did everything more. I just felt like more of a piece of shit because everything was just, I just felt like I was just figuring it out and never felt like I was just steady on 2 feet ever during all of last year.
Yeah, I think we all have had years like that. I had a year probably like that, maybe a year or two ago. It was exactly that. It was like, all right, this is the year of planting the seeds, figuring shit out, trying different things out, but in the back of your head, even though it maybe at the time it's not getting the outcomes you want, knowing that you're starting to learn things, or starting to learn new things, or starting to make new connections or relationships that are planting the seeds that are going to sprout up maybe in the next year or maybe 2 years. We don't know when, but at least looking from that perspective, knowing that you're not wasting time on it. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Matt and Janelle, what's up? Thanks for jumping on.
Hey guys, so this is our first time doing this. It's awesome to just go through and actually see a score for myself with kind of these data points outlined. But yeah, I'm kind of middle of the pack where I expected to be. That tells me there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of room for growth. I think we have a lot of goals in our lives, individually, as a couple, and professionally. So how do we, kind of just get more streamlined in our approach, be more efficient in our movements, and really just learn how to be better together. So it's kind of where I'm at.
All right, thank you for sharing. What about Janelle?
Yeah, I mean, I think this last year there's been a balance of focusing more on my work life and not as much on family. So this year, I know I need to balance that out better. As we said, we have some big goals for 2026. So just reflecting on this and seeing this and having guidance on where to, focus and strengths, weaknesses, all that stuff.
Thank you for sharing, because this is it's a mirror. That's why we do this, to see when we need to improve, because life keeps on going. And if we allow ourselves to not try to be balanced, life will go by and we're going to regret so many things. So that's why it's so important to do this. And we do this as a family every single year in Death Valley. We meet in Death Valley for Thanksgiving and we sit down as a family and we do this reflection as a family. Everybody comes prepared. Everybody sit down at the same table. It takes us 2.5, sometimes 3 hours. So how many of you here have kids? Raise your hands. All right. All right. Wonderful. So you can do this with your family, with your kids. It doesn't matter if they are little, just encourage them. Kids can even draw a picture of what they've experienced previous year and create something for the next year. There are ways to do this. So involve them, encourage them to join you. And this is when you start feeling like the family is on the same train as you. That's what we try to create.
Who here, when you had some of these scores a few times, when you started giving yourself a score, let's say leadership, and you're like, leadership, yeah, I'm a 5, definitely. But then as I started explaining how I want you to think of it, and then reminded you got to think of personal and professional, and you're like, oh, fuck, it's actually not a 5 because I had to add in the personal side. Yeah, at the office, I'm a 5, but at home, maybe not. Like, who had some of those things pop up where you thought one score, and then you're like, oh, shit, this other piece of it, when I average it out, who put their hand up? Janelle, which one? What was it, and what came to your attention?
Definitely, like a lot of them, like you said, professionally, I feel like I've been really good and on top of it, but that's been like my focus and taken too much of me. So I'm trying to do that more on the family side and the personal side.
And yeah, that's the reason why I asked it, and that's also the reason why I gave that example, because it's almost always that way. We do all the things that we should be doing in the business, but then either for ourselves or for on the family side, the personal side and the family side, we let some of these things slip up. And that's exactly what we work on in all of our coaching groups. The Freak Father Alliance that I run for men, the Freak Female Alliance she runs for women, is to make sure we're not neglecting any of those areas. Those last few parts that we said about the family and the finances and working on yourself. It is possible to have all those. It is possible to excel in all at the same time. People think it's impossible. They think if you do one, you have to neglect the others. Now, there are times where you have to put more focus into one, and maybe the other ones don't get as much, but there's no way that you need to neglect them or still give them a low score. It is possible to have 5s across the board in your family, in your fitness, and in your finances all at the same time. That is possible, and that's what this work is for and the work we're doing. But awesome. Anyone else have anything else pop up like that, where you had one area and then another, when you really thought of averaging it out, something dragged it down? All right, let's keep on rolling. Just gonna move the cameras over again. And so we're gonna go to now the review section, where you kind of ask yourself some tough questions, really the reality check of 2025. And we're gonna start off here with gratitude.
So what are you grateful for in 2025? And how I would like you to think of the gratitude is really write down the names of all the people, of all the situations that you've felt grateful for. And I just give you an example, guys, what I do. I mean, not necessarily everybody has to do it, but I do review my month by month. The questions that we have created for monthly, I do this every single month, and this helps me to dive in at the end of the year and have a bunch of gratitude, bunch of victories, bunch of lessons at the end of the year, because we forget things. So if you want to go and to the next level of Freak this year, create a monthly review for yourself. Write down the lessons, write down the victories, write down the gratitude, because it slips our mind. Just from this week, you probably have so much gratitude, but if you don't write it down, you're going to forget. And the more grateful we are, the more happiness we have, right? The moment that you start writing gratitude for people and situations, places, you start feeling full, that you live in abundance, but maybe you have not seen what's around you. Because we all have these big goals, audacious goals, and we try to write down what kind of life we wanted to have. But we live in the presence. It's right now. This is the present moment. We're not living in the future. So look around you and see what you have, how much abundance you have, how much health you have. Your kids are healthy. Your parents maybe are still alive. Like, see this for really what it is, and you're going to see a change in your life. So who wants to jump in and share their gratitude for 2025?
If I was a betting man, I would have won big money because I would have said it's going to be Mark that's going to jump in. Holy shit.
All right, Mark.
Mark's making the most of it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm thankful for the lessons. One is first my kids, going to the brotherhood, and then hearing how your kids are the most important achievement in your life. That really woke me up. You know, focusing more on my kids and how they're the future, and then the people surrounding me through the ups and downs, the things you don't talk about that they still support you in, and then pushing you to the next level. So just calling you out as a man to cut out whether it's smoking, drinking, getting your exercise in. Surrounding myself with those type of people has been a blessing to help me go to the next level and then hold myself accountable to live that life, you know, the life that we talked about. So I'm really grateful for that. And then speaking of parents, I understand how, you know, my parents being alive, sometimes you don't always agree with them. Sometimes you have to edit the relationship, but just grateful that they're there, you know, that they're good people, they're there, and be able to spend that time with them and the kids. So even though, I mean, went through a divorce and whatever, all the, you know, tough situations, I'm still blessed to be where I'm at and to have what I have. So definitely thankful for that.
Wonderful. Looking in like on the positive side of things. Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Who else has some gratitude they want to put out there for the year of 2025? Who wants to share? Andy, go ahead.
Okay, so I think about this all the time. Number one, clearly, is my faith and always having that to start my day and to tap into that, especially when adversity hits throughout the day. My clients, I had best year ever business-wise, so I'm really grateful for them. I'm grateful. I lost my dad to Parkinson's, and we had to put him into a nursing home, and I was with them the whole time, all the way to last breath. You know, he probably died with maybe $2,000 in his checking account, but what he was able to show me is that a lot of this shit just doesn't matter. I mean, when he was like in hospice, lying there, like, he'd pick up his hand and his hand would drop, the death drop. Like, he didn't remember shit like, well, I didn't return that phone call, or I forgot to cut the mow the grass, or like, it was just really wild how a lot of the stuff that we're really worried about what other people think of us really doesn't matter. You know, you got to live in the present and just get it done. So that was a gift that he showed me beyond anything else. My health, for sure. Certainly my family, and then very thankful for the small town that I live in, north of Chicago. I was appointed a village trustee by our mayor, so very thankful for that.
Oh, wonderful.
And that the confidence that they would have in me, that's been a tremendous growth. I don't identify as a politician. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I just jumped into the deep end and just kind of learned as I went, and have been able to get into a whole new group of people with whom I've never would have met before. So very grateful for that too.
Awesome. And when we think of gratitude, also we shouldn't do it just on a year. This should be a daily thing. Like every day, part of our morning routine. It's literally starts off with meditation and right into gratitude. Thinking about what are you grateful for? Yeah, on the big picture, but also what are you grateful for just for that day specifically, the day that you just finished the day before. And imagine starting off every morning with these types of thoughts that you just all shared. And that's how you start your day. And that's how you set the tone for your day. And then also, when you know that every morning you're going to be writing about your gratitude and checking in with your gratitude, it makes you throughout your day see things differently. Like you almost feel like you have to go and find things to be grateful for because you know you have to answer for it the next morning when you're sitting there alone in a quiet room at 5 a.m. and a notebook and a pen, and you got to write down what you're grateful for the day. It makes you more aware throughout your day because you're like, oh shit, I got to go find some things to be grateful for. Makes you show up with a different energy, a different force, a different type of positivity when you just go throughout your day searching for things to be grateful for, rather than what most people do is really search for problems, shit to complain about, things to gossip about, and all it does is drags down their freaking day. So use it as a daily energy, a daily life force when it comes to gratitude. All right, let's keep rolling. Let's go to the wins, the victories. I like to break them down by quarter. You don't have to really break them down by quarter, but you should definitely break them down by personal and professional. So who's got some wins for the year? And these could be big wins, these could be small wins. Sometimes it could be connected to the things that you have gratitude for, but who's got some wins for the year? Who's got some big wins, some big breakthroughs they had this year they want to share? Or maybe some real small things that don't seem like wins, but to you, it was like, you know what? That little thing is the stepping stone that's going to lead to the places that I want to be. Who's got some big victories to share for the year? Andy, is that you? Is that your hand up now from before or from the last one?
You know what? I forgot to lower it, but I actually want to share it.
Kenny, hold on. Sorry. Kenny, you could physically raise your hand because I see you're having trouble finding the raise hand thing because I see you looking around. I know it's you looking to figure out how to raise your fucking hand. I see it on your face, the frustration. So you're allowed to, Kenny's still trying to figure out how to use his fucking toaster at home. So I can't figure he doesn't know how to use Zoom. So you could physically just raise your hand and we'll count that as the little yellow hand up in the air. But Andy, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's funny. Okay, so business-wise, this was my best year ever. I had a very specific goal and I was able to achieve it. So I'm really proud about that. I hit some PRs at the gym, which I set back in January 25, and I was able to hit that for squat and bench and strict press and shit like that. And then just really happy that I have forced myself to kind of get out of my cave and just meet new people and just try to network and expand, not because I think it's going to benefit me in any way other than I just want to learn from other people and just grow. So that's what I'm grateful for.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Mark, what do you got for your wins for the year?
As far as wins, the last 3 years I was blessed to be working with the Rams, and then I got hired to start doing some traveling and work with athletes all over the nation and now into different countries. So that was a huge win, and traveling and being able to open up my market, and it's a blessing to connect with people and network all over the nation now. So.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Now they're paying for flights, everything else, which I can use for content to start building my own stuff. So I see that as a huge win.
Hell yeah, doing some cool stuff.
Yes, sir.
Kenny, what you got? We'll pretend you rose your hand.
I got cut loose by my company at the end of last year. I landed a really good job, a challenging job, started in March. That was a big victory for me to be able to continue working and have goals every day and a job that kind of means something.
Oh yeah, awesome. Matt and Janelle, what's up?
Got a few of them. So we started a eye business earlier this year in the marketing space. It's going fairly well, for the time that we've been in so far. We've got a few clients, so we're looking just to build for the future for that. So we're trying to make that work. Just the community that we've built through our son's sports, through our church, and yeah, my son he's dove into his faith as well, which is awesome for us. We've also made some financial investment moves, which have been really good for us. So it's looking pretty good for the future.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna backtrack on that. I just want to go back on the gratitude for a second. I'm gonna call on someone who I haven't heard from this call. How about Tyson Eckert? What was your gratitude for the year?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me good?
Yes.
All right, so my main gratitude for this year was getting back into jujitsu and all the events that we run at the house, being able to run all cool events at the house and just having an awesome family and awesome pets and really that. Those are the main things for gratitude.
And I told him he has to say those things about an awesome family or else we're going to beat him and lock him in a cage. So he had to say those things. Midge, how about you for wins for the year? Your wins for the year?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so my top 3 professional wins for 2025 is I did the Free Female Alliance event with my mom, which is a women's event that she runs, and I help out with it and live here at our house. So I helped out with that this year. I got 2 RV clients for our RV rental business, and they rented out our RV, and that was like one of my main wins. And I also had this job where I was cleaning chicken coops for 6 months this year, but I was
Oh, she's frozen.
doing the job longer, but in this year is only 6 months.
Awesome. All right, let's keep rolling. Anyone else have any wins they want to share for the year? If not, we're going to keep rolling on. It's going to keep moving you guys over, and let's do it. So let's go into what went wrong. We talked about the good, and also the victories is also how you should start your day. Like every day, literally, I start off with meditate just to clear my mind, get the thoughts out of my head, get control of my own mind, and then I go write down my gratitude and write down the wins for the day also. Because why wouldn't you want to start your day like that? And then right after that, then I go into the what went wrong. We can call them the losses, but we know there's no such thing as a loss. It's just the lessons. So really the lessons, the losses. So combining all that together, kind of these losses or lessons, like what did you avoid this year that you should have faced? And you can answer any one of these, or one of these questions might just make something pop up in your head on a lesson you have for the year. So you don't even have to answer these specifically, but we will ask you to share whatever you come up with. And also some of these things are hard to really answer on the fly like this. So I'll also send out this entire slide so you can go a little deeper on this for yourself and with your family, because some of these are hard to kind of answer right on the fly. It doesn't really click till you sit there alone in a quiet room for an hour and really come up with some of this stuff. So, all right, what went wrong, the losses, the lessons? What did you avoid this year that you should have faced? Or would you continue that should have been cut out? Maybe habits or people or distractions? Or what might have disappointed you this year? So let's start with that on these losses. And I know some of these are hard to come up with on the fly. So if someone has something that immediately pops in your head, we'll go with it. You can raise your hand and jump in. If not, we'll keep it moving. And you can actually I'm gonna give you 30 seconds or a minute right now to come up with it. Take the pen and see what you come up with. And then I see Andy's guy's hand here. We'll jump in about 30 seconds or a minute. Just give you some time to think of it, write it down maybe, and see what you come up with. And then we'll jump back in. All right, Andy, what'd you come up with on this section?
It's one, and it's my stupid phone. I'm constantly looking at it. It's a constant distraction. I'm reading the book Into Thin Air, and I've become obsessed with like Mount Everest, and so like in my algorithm, it's all this shit on how to climb Mount Everest, and I get distracted with that when I should be dialed in on the goals, the little things every day that I'm supposed to do, that we're all supposed to do. So it's the distractions of that for sure, without a doubt.
And it's crazy, but also realize that it's not just you. Pretty much almost every single person that I come across at some point has a distraction of their fucking phone, and it's all of us. Like,
it's awful, and I'm guilty, totally guilty of it.
You'll be sitting there writing an email, and next thing you know, your phone in your hand, you're scrolling. You don't even remember picking up. It just they've gotten the greatest scientists and psychologists to create those apps and the way that the phone works to get us like that, to get us addicted like that. So it's always a work in progress to use the phone. The phone is a weapon. I mean, you could weaponize it. We need them so much. Like you get so much done on it productivity, but not letting it become a crutch and a waste of time. One way to do that is to put it on your calendar we have on our calendar, like that stupid time. That's the time to go scroll YouTube or go on your phone. Like it's actually knowing that you're going to have the time for it makes it not as bad. And you still catch yourself doing it. But the main thing is to catch yourself right when it happens. So you just cut it off, not 10, 15 minutes into fucking scrolling YouTube, watching the cat swinging around the ceiling fan for no reason. So yeah, don't think it's just you. That's everyone. That's us included. I find myself, there's times I'm like, I don't even remember picking it up or unlocking it. And yet I'm scrolling. So I actually made some new rules and new kind of habits for this upcoming year. One of my rules now that anytime I open up Instagram, I have to unfollow someone. So the second I open it, I think of unfollowing someone instead of think of scrolling. So I have to find someone to get rid of. And then by the time I do that, I either wasted enough time and I have to get off of there, or I did it real quick and then I go do the post I'm doing and I didn't waste time scrolling. So it's like my anti-scroll and waste time. It's like I'm going to unfollow because there's too much garbage on there anyway. So I find someone to unfollow every time I open up Instagram. And I can't do anything else till I unfollow someone. And so that's something I just set for myself to make myself not waste time on there, and also to clean it out and get rid of some negative people or trash or stupid stuff that I don't even know how they got on there. So we definitely have to set up different habits or routines and rituals for that and for whatever else. There's always take the habit that you want to start, like not scroll Instagram, and what's the trigger for? For me, the trigger is when I open up Instagram, I have to unfollow someone. So every time, I literally just started this year on the 1st. But every single time I've opened it, I've unfollowed someone. So the people I'm following is going down, and I'm not wasting time on it. I'm actually at least getting rid of some noise. So by the end of the year, I'll hopefully have thousands of less followers, less garbage on my feed, people that I don't want to see their nonsense and drama and stupidity on there and waste of time. And it'll filter out and only be good, positive stuff. So even if I did scroll, it's going to be just quotes and positivity and fitness and training and personal development type stuff. So that's one way I'm combating it myself, because shit happens to all of us. Mark, what do you got?
For me, everything started with my habit. I would, after going through a divorce, I smoked weed. I would smoke so much weed, and then that would lead, of course, into getting distracted. Distraction, busy work, and then be like, hey, I'm gonna keep learning. So you go into learning mode, or quote unquote learning mode, instead of action mode. And then even with posting content, knowing I should be posting more content, but yet I didn't want people to know I was high, and even though people wouldn't know, I would know, and that was just I feel like that was so unproductive. So that finally I cut it out, and feel so much more productive now, which is amazing.
Hell yeah, and thanks for sharing it, because people probably need to hear that. Like, to me, for the most part, alcohol, weed, there's really no upside to them. Maybe weed, there's 0.0001% of the population that could benefit from it, that actually you can use it in it. But 99.9% of people that smoke weed, there's no upside to it for those people. Same thing for alcohol, 0% upside for anyone. So that's always going to be productivity killers for the most part, both of those. And obviously health killers and your training and whatever else if you're drinking. And then the learning mode thing. Like, yeah, we need to be learning, but if we're always just saying, all right, I'm going to go learn about, I don't know, gardening or something, but you never plant the fucking seeds or never actually tend to the garden, what good was it to learn about gardening or climbing Mount freaking Everest? If you're not actually out there climbing go stop reading about it and go climb the fucking mountain, you know? And the same thing even goes with faith and belief in yourself. You could have all the faith and belief in yourself, and you need that, and that is the foundation. But people think, well, I just have faith that it's going to all work out. That's a great starting point, but if that's all you have, you're just going to stay at that starting point. You then need to follow it up with all the habits and daily disciplines and actions that you need to freaking take, rather than just sitting on the faith and discipline. Matt and Janelle, what you got?
Couple things for me. I also had like the phone or devices as a big problem for me. So I was traveling for work and picked up my phone one day. I had picked it up 130 times. I looked at the data for it. I was like, oh, geez, what am I doing? I'm just wasting so much time. And it just, it distracts me from professional life, from personal life, from business goals, all the rest of it. Secondly, my nighttime routine. So I have like a goal on what I want to do every morning, but I negotiate sometimes on what time I should go to bed. And the later I go to bed, the more it impacts the morning, and then my morning routine, and then my workouts, my prayer time, whatever it is, just setting the day, at the right place from the beginning gets disrupted. So I can do that a couple days in a row, but I think if I'm going to bed too late, 5, 6, 7 days in a row, and I'm waking up at the same time, like it takes its toll on me for sure, and then I'm just not productive. I get more susceptible to like picking up my phone because I'm lazy, or staying in bed and looking at the phone or whatever it is. So those are things I've been trying to break very hard.
So good. Like the AM and PM routine are all so connected, right? You go to sleep later, you get up later, then your whole day is just changed. It's crazy, and then it follows with the bad habits sometimes. So this is such a good learning point for everyone here in the group. So thank you for sharing this, Gina.
I was gonna say, yeah, because they are connected, so mine is more, I feel like the focus is the morning routine is off. And I don't make time for the things in the order that I need to, like my prayer time first. I kind of get that. And find something else to go do where I know that that's like really a goal of mine to make sure I do that before all else. But you know, the whole routine, I tend to stay up late, and that is my downfall because I like to sleep in later. And that's something I've been focusing on is we're doing the freak challenge. He's doing it, but I'm trying to follow along with him. So my goal is to, you know, I've been waking up with my alarm and not snoozing it and waking up earlier than ever. But yeah, I think that would be my thing. And nutrition, like for me, nutrition and not being healthy with my nutrition and not sticking with exercise and fitness is a big, I think, losses for me or opportunities for growth this year.
Wonderful. And just remember, it's all trainable. We all can be a morning person. We all can also sleep late. So it depends what you want to focus on. You want to be morning person, you're going to become one. You want to be late person, you're going to become one. It's like so easy. Once we're going to understand this, that you're going to set your goal to go to sleep earlier, get up earlier, do a meditation. And we had actually a discussion on it because last year we had the morning routine, right? We get up, we do meditation, we do journaling, we do 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes of reading something smart, some quick quotes for you just to download into your brain positivity and learn something quick. And I kind of step away from meditation in the morning and start doing it at nighttime. And then Steve started the challenge saying, who is going to join me this year in doing the meditation and reading because we missed some days. And at first I was like, I don't want to do the meditation in the morning because it takes so much time. I don't want to do 10 minutes. But then I realized I can do 5 minutes because it's a kind of a routine. It sets you up. So I went back to it and not run around in the morning and doing other things in the morning. You know, like once you have the routine and it works for you, stick to it. And actually a morning routine that gives you a productivity that set your tone for the day, that you really need to focus on what matters, and then the whole day is different. So think of this as a trainable thing, and I promise you in a week or 2 weeks from now you're going to be a morning person. You're going to be going to sleep earlier because you're going to be tired, because that's what it is. If you get up at 5 a.m. you're naturally tired at 9 p.m. and you allow your body to actually be tired. You don't need another caffeine shot at 3 p.m. because we shouldn't be drinking any caffeine, because that is going to stimulate you and stays in your system for that long. And that's why you're having trouble falling asleep. So your body naturally should be tired in the afternoon because you're slowing down. So those are some good points. You know, we all can learn from this. So yeah, my thing this year is too, it's like sticking to the routine Monday to Friday, that I go to sleep earlier, get up earlier. On the weekends, we hang out. I don't stay up as long as they do because they just go to the freak maximum. That's just a different level of being a freak. And they get up in the morning. I don't know how they do it. I swear
I'm a morning person and a night person. I like to stay up late till like 3, 4 in the morning, but I also like to get up at 5 in the morning. So sometimes those don't go together.
Not me, guys. I say goodnight to everybody around 11 p.m. and midnight, the latest on the weekend. They just laugh. They're just like, mommy's going to sleep. It's okay. It's fine. I need my sleep.
All right, let's keep this rolling. All right, let's turn now some of those losses and those failures, fuck ups, whatever, into some lessons. So what did you learn? What was some lessons that were kind of forced on you this year, or how did the pressure of the year expose you to weaknesses and your strengths? Like, what did you notice about yourself? What maybe wisdom did hardship give you this year? So take about 30 seconds, see what you come up with for that, and then we'll hear from one or two of you about that. And those of you that are not on camera, or you can jump in anytime also, Chris, Christian, Ron, Luis, you can jump in anytime also, if you're not on camera. So take 30 seconds, see what you come up with on that. All right, Andy, what'd you come up with?
The fastest way to get through adversity is to go through it. Don't try to go around it. Don't try to avoid it. Just embrace it. Go through the storm, and that's the fastest way out of it.
Yeah, most likely the storm's going to be too big to try and maneuver around it anyway, and going through it's probably going to be maybe the hardest way to do it, but also probably the shortest way to do it. And you also don't know how long that's going to be, but hell yeah, good point and a good lesson. Anyone else have any lessons or anything pops in your head from these different prompts here for this year? And we'll keep moving on. We still got lots to get to. All right, let's keep on rolling. We're going to jump to this next section, the reckoning. Now, this is the release.
All right, the release section. So this is all right. What do you need to let go of from 2025? What is something that you've been carrying through 2025? Maybe guilt, maybe shame, regret, pain, disappointment. For me, guys, and I'm going to share this personal story. In 2024, my grandma died. She was 93 years old, and I was very, very close to her. She was like the guardian angel of my life. She was the one that was just always there for me, listening to me, teaching me many things. She was just that person that you need in your life to support you. And it was a tragic event for me, and it took me a year to completely recover and kind of agree with the loss, because we disagree with the loss. If any of you lost anyone, it's almost like this belief, disagreement, why this is happening, even though it's a natural way of life. But if you love someone so dearly, it's like so hard for you. And I had to allow myself to process it, to release it. And today, obviously, I think about this and I deal with this in a completely different way. But it was such a long year of literally asking question: is this heaviness that I have on my chest, is this gonna become better? Is this ever gonna leave me, or is this gonna be always a part of me, that sadness that I have that she is gone? And as the old saying says, time heals. Time heals, and you process it and you release it, and you kind of start looking at from a bright side, start seeing things that on a more positive side. It takes time. Like, it takes time with everything. So that was something for me that I had to release, and it feels amazing.
Oh my God. There you go. Froze out for a second. All right, call on someone.
All right, who wants to? Angie, is your hand up? So go ahead, or I don't see who is there else. Alika, you've been quiet for a while. Tell us something what you need to release from 2025.
Definitely need to let go of the disappointment I've had surrounding my issues staffing my office. It's been a real shit show this year, and a lot of it was a big learning experience in not only what I need from an employee, but what kind of person do I want in my employee. And one thing I did learn from that was, especially from one of my previous ones this year, who just made my life fucking awful, was learning that there is a difference between protecting your mental health and staying small. There's a big difference between protecting your peace and not seeking challenges, and that was a big one that I had to learn. So yeah, that's one of the big disappointments that I need to let go of going into 2026.
Thank you.
And don't make you so gun shy and have so much PTSD to think of, now I'm just going to stay small and never be able to grow because people are assholes, and because there are still some good ones out there, but you take those lessons and the next time you try to do it a little bit better with the people that you bring on, because only really it is possible to grow and maintain your piece for the most part. But I get what you're saying. It's just easier to stay small and not have to deal with a bunch of employees than it is to, if in order to grow, I have to deal with these kind of assholes. Never mind. I'll rather just stay small. Don't let it make you think that it still is possible, but it's just falls back onto your leadership, your hiring process, and not letting these people.
There's a plan there. I've worked, I basically did it myself the entire year. So I'm not going to let myself, work my ass to burn out like I've done way too many times this year.
Yeah, because that's the other side. Then there's no peace there either. You're staying small and there's still no peace. So it's like, shit, now I didn't grow and there's no peace. There's definitely a solution in there to find. And so don't let these bad apples freaking make you not push forward in the future. You're going to learn from it. And a lot of times when growing, like that is, dealing with employees is always harder than dealing with clients. Even when you have tough clients and people canceling and whatever else, like the employers are always the hardest part of growing and scaling the business. But every time you go through these cycles, you learn more and then you get just a little bit better next time. And it's never going to be perfect. It's going to happen again. You're going to deal with shitty people again, but you'll probably deal with it better yourself and not let it bring you down so much because you kind of know how to maneuver around the situation a little bit better next time.
Yeah, improving the systems, the like Steve said, the hiring process, creating core values for your company, creating what is accepted, what it's not. That's what we've had in our gyms. We had these core values, and anytime we would do interview with potential employee, we would go for like 3 or 4 meetings with different people that I would read them core values and ask them to memorize it and see if they agree it. And there was a whole system, and you have to create that system. It comes from you. When it comes from you, you have the high standards. Then you just stick to what you want. What is the process? Like when we would hire in the hiring process, the potential, for example, trainer, coach would have to go through 3 months of training with me. And many times after a month and a half, they just would quit because they wouldn't stick that long. And then it shows you that this person is not a part of your team. Or we had I remember one time a guy came in and he would show me all the Golden Gloves titles that he had, but he was maybe a great boxer, but he wasn't a good coach. And he needed to go through the process. And it doesn't matter what titles you have. This is what we have. This is what our standards have. And either you are a part of the team and gonna follow, or you're not. And that's it. So stick to your gut, create the systems, and this will help you to always be the same no matter what. That's the standard. Like think about these amazing companies, Google and other companies, they have these. They will not hire anyone. It has to be a process. And even if you're a small company, you still have to have a process.
And not negotiating your standards for anyone or anything. The standards lead the way. Hell yeah. Mark, what's up? Your hand's up.
Yeah, my bad. My phone went off. That's on me. My thing is letting go. I went through a divorce. 2012, I went through a divorce. I let that hang with me forever, feeling like I was supposed to have a perfect life, or be a perfect father, perfect husband, and things got out of control. Went through a divorce. Still embarrassed. Feel like a failure. Especially like I feel like I failed as a dad, and kept going on. Did what I have to keep going forward. But I feel like I carried a lot of caring what other people think. And so that would lead to a lot of my ego, an unhealthy ego. So those were all lessons learned. And thank God they were lessons learned. And now I'm looking forward to get back to that grind mentality. So from all those lessons.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, for sure.
All right, awesome. Let's keep this rolling on. Let's go into the next section on accountability. Kind of what did you avoid taking accountability for? What did you take accountability for? What behaviors maybe weren't aligned with what you said and what you did, and where were you not congruent with your mission? I think we kind of, a lot of what some you've answered have already kind of fallen into this in that last lesson section. So I'll still say, again, send all these slides out so you can go a little deeper on these. I think this section we can just go straight through, and we kind of already touched on that a bit in these other areas. So let's go just into acceptance. I think also acceptance, we're just going to kind of put them out there. And then again, I'll send the slides because we kind of covered that in the release. Like what do you have to accept about yourself from this year? How are you going to choose to interpret it going forward? These are just different prompts you could use. You could choose one or two of these questions on your morning routine, say tomorrow or sometime during this week. And you can go deeper into these because some of you went into these already. We kind of touched on these a little bit. So we're just going to go roll through these sections so we can keep grinding. So now we're going to go to the refocus section. Now this is where we start rebuilding. We take all that data and information and start now setting the tone and planning for the upcoming year, thinking about these goals. This is where the next year begins, and you review your goals from the previous year. That like, did you accomplish them? If not, like, think about last year, the goals that you set. Did you get them or not? And if you didn't, why didn't you get them? If you did get them, what allowed you to reach those goals? So just think of that before we even go into the idea of these next goals. So now we're going to attack goals for this upcoming year. So think of all those lessons, those wins, those gratitude, everything we just reflected on the previous year. And let's start thinking about some short, specific, impactful goals. Think of family goals, think of personal goals, think of professional goals. Think of a bold move you want to make for the year. And think of even some adventure or challenge you want to have for yourself or for your family. So when it comes to these are different types of goals, and we're going to go back to them in a second because I want to run through kind of how to create those goals. Actually, we'll stick with this for now, I guess. So think of these different goals. I want you to take a minute or two. We'll give you a little longer time so you can come up with at least one or two for some of these categories or all of them. And if you might have already done some goal work for the year already, then you have some stuff ready, but maybe you're not thinking of some of these areas and you want to add to it right now. So we're going to take about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to think of these different categories, starting with the family goals, the personal goals, the professional goals, then the one bold move for the year, and then the adventure or challenge that you want to have for yourself or for your family. So take some time and come up with some of those goals, and then we'll jump in and see what you come up with. And when you put them out there, you're here in front of a group live. Some of you probably don't know each other. Some of you do know each other. But putting them out there is going to help hold you accountable for them. It's going to put out there into the universe and say, these are the goals I'm claiming that I'm going after that are important and impactful and meaningful to me this year. So you're putting it out there into the universe so that you can be held accountable for it by the people in this group, by us, and by each other, and by just the universe in general. So take a minute and a half, 2 minutes. See what you come up with for goals for these different sections.
We have some little participant there. It's trying to join.
That was Kenny's catch for a second.
Kenny, they should all be at this meeting. Sitting by you.
They are.
Oh, they are.
You just can't see them.
Now, before we jump into these goals, but I'll give you a little more time to finish them. I'm going to skip ahead to another section here because I want to go into kind of the idea of how to set goals. We're going to run through this quick. Again, I'll send you these slides. So you'll have all this information. But I want you to think about these things when you're setting these goals. And all this I'm going to send to you so you can go through this. But I want you to think of different types of goals to set. And here we go. How the different goals usually fall into different categories. You have create goals, like things you physically want to create, maybe a product or service for the year. You have acquire goals, maybe things that you want to acquire, your house, car, material things, whatever it is. You have experience goals, things you want to experience this year, vacations, different relationships, travel, fun, adventure. Then you also should have learning goals, language. Maybe you want to learn a new language or a new skill or an instrument or a sport or mountain climbing, speed reading, whatever knowledge or something you want to learn this year. You should have learning goals. And then you should also have self-growth and improvement goals and self-personal development goals. That's in health and fitness, nutrition, mental improvement, just your own personal development. So think of all the categories of goals we had in that earlier slide, and I'll go back to that in a second. I just wanted you to start thinking of these different areas that maybe will trigger something to make you come up with some different goals in different categories. So goals usually can fall into these different categories. And then for each goal, you should have a success statement, meaning, all right, here's the goal. What does achieving this goal look like, and why is it important? Because if you know what the goal looks like in achieving it, you could envision that, and you know why it's important, why it's meaningful, it's going to make it a lot easier to stick to the daily disciplines and habits that are leading towards that goal, because you know what it looks like, because you envisioned it, and you also know why it's important, why it means something to you. So it's not just a goal that means nothing. So each goal should have a success statement. Then each goal should also have the steps to achievement with real deadlines. So, all right, here's the goal. Here are the 3 to 5 steps that it's going to take for me to get to that goal, the different, maybe a checklist or stepping stones to get to that goal. And here's the deadlines of each of those stepping stones in order to get to this bigger goal, which also has a deadline. So each goal should have the steps to achieve the goal. Then each goal you should know, all right, what support's going to be needed for this? Am I going to be able to do this by myself? Do I need support? If I'm going to do what kind of assistant I might need? What kind of coaching might I need to get to this goal? So think of the support that's needed for each one of those goals. And then just think of, right, what simple behaviors or triggers or habits are going to be supporting that goal? Like packing your gym bag the night before when you know you have to go to the gym first thing in the morning before work, that trigger. So like I said before about when I open up Instagram, I delete someone. Every goal or new habit that you want to have, start it with a trigger. So each one of these big goals that you're setting right now, you should be thinking, all right, what are the behaviors, the habits, the triggers that are going to support this goal? They're going to keep me in alignment with this goal all throughout the year. So keep these 5 types of goals in mind right here: the create, the acquire, the experience, the learning, and the self-growth goals. And then keep these different attributes that each goal needs to have: a success statement, steps to achievement, the support needed, and the simple behaviors. And so think of all that while you're creating these goals. I'll give you another 30 seconds now that we are thinking about that. And I'll go back to that previous slide, which has those different types of goals on it, which is right here. So think of those family goals, personal goals, professional goals, bold move for the year, and adventure or challenge that you want to take on this year. So think of all those other ways. Take another 30 seconds now that you have some different way of thinking of it, and then we'll jump in and see what you got. Matt and Giselle, what do you got? Janelle, what do you got?
For my personal goal, it's just having a consistent routine, morning, evening, daytime routine, sticking with my exercise and my nutrition.
And on those, just make sure, like all those steps that we said, like what does it look like? Why is it important? Make sure you add that into each of those. And right now it's not going to happen on the fly in here, but again, I'll send the slides out. So take every one of those goals and then add in those steps of achievement. What are the steps to achieve it? What's the meaning behind it? What support might I need? But then even get a little more specific on some of those, like saying sticking to my health and nutrition. That could mean a lot of different things. You know what I mean? Like gets a little more specific on it. So literally at the end of each week, you could say, did I stick to my health? And what does that mean actually? Does that mean going to the gym a certain amount of times a week? Does that mean a certain amount of weight? Does that mean a certain amount of calories eating per day? like specific on what it means. Because then otherwise you could say, focus on my health and nutrition. At the end of the week, you went to the gym one time for 20 minutes and you could say, yeah, I focused on my health and nutrition because I went to the gym. Like, but is that really in alignment with what you meant by it? So get specific by what that means. Does that mean going to the workout 3 times a week, 5 times a week, 7 days a week? Like, just get clear on what that means so you have a hard line to say yes or no. Did I achieve this goal? So just make sure you get a little clear on those.
Yeah, I'll add, for family goals, one of the things we've done a couple times, is the family meetings. So just making those a weekly habit, like locked in and not letting the freewheeling schedule of the day just kind of dictate when we're gonna have a meeting. Like, no, this is the schedule, we need to make time for it. Everything else needs to be secondary, because I know we have an 8-year-old and a 2-year-old, and the 8-year-old loves doing them, and he like there's way more buy-in for him from a family perspective. He's a part of that and having that conversation with us. So it's really good to just build that into our routine. And professional goal, we want to buy a rental property sometime this year. So start researching that and kind of make that move closer to the summer.
Awesome. That's cool that the 8-year-old's into the family. Sometimes even let him run the meeting, let him be the one that leads the meeting, and let him take charge and let him have some responsibility for it. And he'll have even more buy into it, more responsibility for it. Like each week, our kids, they rotate usually who runs the meeting. Sometimes it gets a little chaotic and I gotta come in and drop the hammer of Thor down and take control because it gets a little freaking crazy, but we have fun with it.
And in no time, your 2-year-old will be there too. In the beginning, they might draw, do things, but still encourage them. And yeah, like I said, if they love drawing, they can scribble something and be a part of it. And you will see in no time, they will be a part of it.
And even though they're not necessarily participating now, even 2, 3, 4 years old, they're not necessarily going to be maybe but they're seeing, oh, this is what a family does. Each week, they're soaking that in their brain when they see you all sit down at a table, talking, getting together. They don't even know what's going on, but they know something's going on with the family. And this is how a family operates. This is how a family connects and deals with things. They're soaking that in, even at that young age. So by the time they are 8, they're like, oh, this is what we do. They don't even know any other thing. Like they'll be shocked to hear their friends, families that don't have meetings. Like, wait a minute, what do you mean? This is like just what families do, eating dinner together and having meetings. Like it's soaking into them, whether you realize it or not.
It really does soak in them. That's how I taught my kids to speak Polish. I constantly was speaking to them when they were little kids. They're bilingual now. They're fluent.
She only taught them so they could all talk shit about me, and I won't know what the fuck they're saying. That's the only reason she taught them. All right, let's. Who else has some goals they want to put out there in any one of these categories? Maybe some you just want to share. You want to throw it out there to the universe to put it out there so you know you have to hold yourself accountable for it. Midge, what you got?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my top 3 goals for 2026. The first one is to get 5 clients for our RV rental business, and another one is to do like one long hike during the summer. For the last 2 years, we've been doing like 20-mile hikes once a year, and I want to do one again this year. And my other main goal is to do 3 Spartans.
Cut it out there at the end.
My other main goal is to do 3 Spartan races.
Awesome. Cool. Anyone else have any other goals to put out there for the year? Throw it out there into the universe so that the universe will hold you accountable. What else we got? Even on the bold move, think about the one bold move for the year. Who's got some bold move or some crazy adventure they want to take or something just impossible they want to do this year? Some big, bold, crazy moves or goals for the year. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I want to launch. I have 2 businesses I'm working on. One coaching business and a t-shirt line. I'll be attaching to that in case anyone wants to buy shirts. So I definitely want to get that out there and have a system created to launch that. Workouts, stay on top of my workouts and my nutrition. That's going to be huge so that I can drop to 180. I want to drop to 180 with 15% body fat. And then for professional goals, also help the company I'm working with double their. I want to help them double the amount of productivity they have now.
Awesome. And
Like the
same thing with those. Make sure that like the double the productivity. What does that specifically mean for them? Make sure you know what that means and how can you say whether or not that happens. Same thing with sticking with my fitness. Saying to say stick with my fitness. Make sure it's clear what does that mean so you can know whether or not you did it. Who has some bold move they want to make? Just something bold they want to do this year. I mean, I don't even know. It might not even be a goal. Just something bold, like something that you know you need to do to step out and do something maybe uncomfortable. Like for me, one of mine was to make more big asks of people because I don't really ask much of people ever, and I'm always doing things and helping people and doing things for people, but I don't really ask for much ever. This year I said, you know what? I'm going to make some big asks to some big people, like maybe even people I don't even know or people that I've earned it with, but I'll make some big asks this year. I'm still working on what exactly that means, but I know that's one of the bold moves for the year is to make those big asks of people. Who has some other goals, whether family goals, personal goals, professional goals, bold moves you want to make for the year? Who else has some to put out there? Andy, what do you got?
A personal goal of mine would be to start using the word no and telling people no. Just no, I'm not going to do that. Do it yourself. Figure it out. So that's going to be a big breakthrough for me.
It sounds so simple, but yet, and then it becomes so hard because we want to be a people pleaser. We don't want people to think we're a dick or whatever else, and we sacrifice our own peace and sanity and time and our own goals for other people's usually things that they think are so urgent that they think we owe. And hell yeah, say no. I say it all the time. Kids will ask me stuff. No. Can we do this? No. We got other shit to do.
I think you're Yoda when it comes to saying no to people.
Awesome. What else we got for any goals? They could be personal. They could be health and fitness goals. They could be professional goals. They could be family goals, adventures, anything. What do we got for goals? See hands up. I think you guys already went. Let's see. Tyson, what do you got for your goals for the year?
For me, my main goals I'm gonna do like 2 personal ones and then 2 professional ones. So for me, my 2 personal goals are compete in 4 to 6 jiu-jitsu competitions and compete in 3 to 4 amateur boxing or amateur Muay Thai or amateur kickboxing matches. And then on the professional side of things is for my personal YouTube, get 10,000 followers and 10,000 followers on Instagram and start investing in crypto and other kind of stocks, etc.
Awesome. Good mix of freaking goals there. Matt and Janelle, I kept seeing your hand pop up. Was that from before, or do you have something else to put in?
If no one else is sharing, we'll share another.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so bold move for the year. One would be we want to try and make it to the February conference with you guys. We just need to secure childcare and all that. What is the name of it?
What's that?
Matt was looking for his email. What's the name of the marriage conference that you guys are having?
Oh, the couples event. Yeah, it's here in February. It's actually Valentine's weekend. That's the Eternal Edge.
Eternal Edge. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the links and information for that.
Okay. Cool.
And then the men's event is here in March. Kenny's been to 4 of those already here at our house. The next one is in March, and then there's women's event in May.
Yeah.
Also, awesome. All right, good stuff. If no one else has some goals, we're going to kind of finish these things up real quick. Couple more things to get to. We're getting a lot of interaction, so we're going to stay on as long as you guys are interacting here. So let's go into this design section real quick. Just look at this and see what comes up. Like, what habits do you need to start? What habits do you need to stop? What habits do you need to do more of? So maybe some stuff you're doing, you know you need to do more of this year. What habits do you have that you need to start, that you know you're not doing any of that you need to start doing? What are some things you did in the previous year you need to stop? So think of just on habits in general, just real quick without even taking any time away from it. Does anyone have anything that pops into your head on just habits you need to start, habits you need to stop, or habits you need to double down on? Because when you answer, a lot of times it sparks an idea in someone else's head. So you think it's really just about you. Like, you should be listening to each other's answers, because shit, I'm taking notes on different things that you're all saying. And it's also giving me ideas of, oh shit, I didn't even think of that. I need to do that. So you by putting it out there is not just putting it out there for yourself, it's helping the other people here and anyone who watched the recording that also registered for this that couldn't make it live. So it's helpful when you participate and throw it out there. So anyone have any thoughts on habits that you need to start, stop, or double down on? Kenny, what you got?
Steve, I would say to stop searching for something in every situation to kick my own ass about.
Like,
Stop that.
crazy. Like, why would we do that? Like, search for what's wrong with me, what's wrong with the day, where did I fuck up, what's gonna go wrong. Think of it like the way we started in the very in the beginning. Imagine going throughout your day just searching for shit to be grateful for. Driving to work and being grateful for, like, oh shit, I never noticed these mountains out there. I just drive by them every day and don't even notice them. Or just hunting for things to be grateful for, just small little things throughout your day, or big things, or people, or situations, or whatever. Hunting for gratitude throughout the day. Because if you get in the habit of having to write down your gratitude every morning, it almost puts a little pressure on yourself each day. Like, I better go find some stuff to be grateful for. And then you do it, and then all of a sudden you feel better. All of a sudden you're having an awesome day. All of a sudden you're showing up with a different energy, a different enthusiasm, a different confidence in the shit you're doing, because you've been on the prowl and on the hunt for this gratitude throughout the day. And then all of a sudden you also realize the flip side, wait a minute, I didn't even have time to search for all these fucked up things and all these things that are going to go wrong and all the areas that I messed up on, because you're too busy thinking of the wins, thinking of the gratitude, thinking of who you can go and help, thinking of what you have to get excited for the day. Like, that's that mindset positivity score we talked about in the beginning. And like, why spend that energy towards all of these negative things? To imagine if you put that towards the positive stuff, the difference in the day automatically, like, that's a reframing the day immediate, just in your own freaking head. It's crazy. But I'm glad you put it out there, because people need to hear, like, that's okay to think that way. People are not alone thinking that way, but it's time to start switching that, flipping the switch and switching it over from there. Anyone else have any thoughts on the habits? Anything you need to start, stop, anything you need to put out there? Any habits that you maybe did a little bit of, you need to do more of? What do we got? All right, we'll keep rolling. We're going to go into this rise section. We're going to this part, you're probably going to have to, maybe something will pop in your head, but you're going to come up with a theme or words for the year. And this, you're going to have to, again, spend some extra time. You might have some thoughts that come up right now, but you really should go a little deeper on your own. All of these just go deeper on your own, which is why I'm going to send you this full recording and the full slides to this entire thing for you to really spend your time and go deep into this. So I want you to think about, what are your themes for the year? What is your theme that's going to keep you on track for the year? And I'll share mine quick, but think about what's your theme for the year, what's your main theme, what are your words going to be that support that theme, and what are the overall direction that you're going to have for the year, and then kind of what's the meaning and reason behind those themes and words. And choose a few. There's really no rules to it. It could be, you could have multiple words, it could be phrases, just things that are going to keep you in line this year, that you know, all right, here's the goals I have, here's the things I said I want to do, here's who I said I want to be, here's the habits I said I'm going to do. All right, what's going to keep me in track? What's going to be kind of my core values for the year, my own personal freak code, a code that's going to keep me in line with my goals for this year. And you could choose a family theme and a goal, or a personal word for the year. You could theme personal themes, personal words, doesn't matter, no rules. I'll share mine real quick. I'll throw it up on the screen. My kind of family theme for us is divergent. It just means we're going to live our own path, create our own path, dig our own trenches and routes throughout this year. My personal word is gravitas, just the way I'm going to show up, the energy and the aura that I'm going to bring into everything I'm doing this year. And in order to do that, it's going to take these action phrases of getting dirty, meaning jumping into the trenches, getting into the arena, getting things started, getting my hands dirty, not being afraid to get into the mix to get shit done. But while I'm getting things done, it's going to be playing your own game and make your own music. Means I'm going to play my game, work to my strengths, do the things that I want to do, make my own music. Means march to the beat of my own drum, operate my own freedom lifestyle that I want to, and in the process, taking next. Meaning see things through to the finish line. Don't hesitate. Don't fiddle around. You're sitting there, and I was doing a grappling this year, doing some jujitsu, and I'm a no belt. I don't have any belt. I just grapple and fight and train. I like the workouts. I'm a no belt when it comes to jujitsu. And I was rolling with a purple belt, which if you do jujitsu is a pretty high belt. And we were grappling and he was my weight or even a little bit bigger. And I was completely dominating this guy. And I'm a no belt. And he's a high level purple belt. And I'm just dominating him, crushing him. And I'm in a dominant position the entire time, literally wrapped up in his head, ready to finish him. But I didn't finish him. And I was thinking, all right, I can go for the finish with this guy, but I risk then ending up in a vulnerable position or a not positive position. Or I could just keep dominating this position and hold him here and just crush him and put pressure on him and not have the risk of being reversed. And I didn't finish the fucking guy when I know I could have. Even though I'm a no belt, he's a purple belt, I could have finished him, but I didn't. So literally that's where I came up with take next. This was literally taking next. I had a position where I could have choked him out, but it would have risked me ending up on the bottom and not being in a dominant position. So I didn't do it and said, you know what? This year I need to just go for the fucking kill. See things through to the finish line. That's just symbolic for in life in general. Not see things close, like see it through to the other side. Take the risk, take the next, like go for the neck and go for the kill and go for the finish. And in order to do that, it's going to take my action words of being dauntless, meaning that I'm not able to be knocked off course, but being relentless, but also being ruthless, but not slimy, ruthless, but within my own values and mission and vision and ethics that I have. And all that's going to lead to then limitless. And once all that's done, the diversion, the gravitas, the get dirty, the game and the music and the taking next and all the power words after that, that's not the end. Do it again. And do it again. Every win is just the starting point to the next win. Every accomplishing of every goal, again, do it again, over and over, showing up like this every fucking day, every meeting, every session, every coaching call, nonstop, living according to this code. And this is the code that's going to help me get to the goals that I set for the year. So you're probably not going to come up with something this much of a flow and deep on the fly here, but definitely go on your own and go deeper for your own themes and words for the year. But maybe something did pop in your head, said, you know what, this is the theme. This is one of the directions I need to go in this year. So who's got a theme or a goal or something that pops in your head when you're just thinking about where you need to go this year, how you need to operate, what's going to be your core values that keep you in line and on target this year when it comes to your own themes or personal values, mission, vision, values, goals, and lifestyle? Who's got something that pops in their head for their themes or words for the year? Anyone got a theme that, or just something that you say, you know what, this is going to be the year of this? Might be as simple as that where you start off with. And then you can go deeper when I send you these slides and you can go into this a little deeper. But think of it that way to maybe help you prompt it. Like, you know what, this is the year of blank. Mark, what do you got?
This is the year of expansion for faith, family, fitness, finances, and friends. So going back and focusing on the little things and then dialing into them so that I can expand on them. And yeah, really the year of expansion, that's the main thing for me.
Expansion, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. Awesome. And I like when you use a word that means something specifically to you, like expansion. It's a different way. You could just say a year of getting better or growth, but expansion to you, it clicks in your head. So when you think of the year, like expansion, everything is in alignment with expansion. That's freaking cool.
It's so awesome. It's one of my words for this year too, 2026.
Awesome. Like-minded people, being around like-minded people, right?
Mind of a Pollock. Awesome. Who else has some themes or thoughts, or just what is this year going to be for you? The year of what? Who are you going to be this year? How are you going to show up? What's going to be your theme? What's going to be your action words for the year? What do we got?
Kenny.
Kenny, what's up?
Steve, it's gonna be 2.0, and that is, I'm gonna let go once and for all these reference points of things that I did not do in the past that still dog me. I'm gonna live the person that I committed to be as of
Where's your
June
link?
17th, 2022, when I graduated project. So I finally let go of that and be this person that I think I am.
Hell yeah, I like it. So, what would that fall into? The year of what? What would you say that is? Like, what's the one trigger that would lead to?
Okay, so I'm not understanding the question.
Just like what's a word or a phrase when you ball all that up together, where you just connect into that and it clicks in your head? Say, you know what? Here's the word, here's the phrase, or here's the year of blank. This is who Kenny's going to be. The year of what?
It's gonna be 2.0. I just thought of that now. I have the goal written. I have to come up with something succinct that'll remind me of that. That's what it is at this moment, unless I change.
Okay.
Awesome.
2.0.
Where's your 40? All right, cool. Anyone else have any thoughts or any themes come up? Just checking the cameras on each side. What else we got? Anything else pop into your head when it comes to who you're going to be, how you're going to operate this year? F40 is not on there. All right, let's then just open it up before we finish things off. I know we've been on here for a little while. I wanted to keep it about 90 minutes. So anyone have any other thoughts, questions, anything we worked on today, or anything at all that we went over? Any additional things pop in your head? Any questions you have? Just open up the floor here. Midge, what do you got?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we hear you.
Okay, so my theme for 2026 is to raise the standard, and my 4 words are anchor. So my first word is anchor. The anchor is just like staying focused and making sure I'm anchored to like what matters and not getting distracted by other things that aren't in alignment with like the work I'm trying to get done. And my second word is threshold. It's like a line I can't cross, like a minimum of like what I need to be doing, the work that needs to get done, kind of like a barrier almost. Like it's like I can't cross the threshold. Like I always need to stay above it, and just sometimes the threshold gets higher, and I need to just make sure that it's like the work I'm doing is good and putting effort into it. And yeah, my third word is intent, and doing everything with purpose and just giving it your all. And my fourth word is endure to like not crumble under pressure, and not just like be like, it's to be able to get through any situation.
Awesome, I like it. So awesome words. When are you going to start living those themes? Or did you start already? Or when are you going to start? Today? You're going to start today or tomorrow? When is it starting?
So guys, this has to be somewhere visible for you. Maybe you need to pin your documents to your toolbar. Maybe you need to put some sticky notes, whatever works for you. Every person is different, but we write these goals, we plan this, and then we put it in the document and we don't look at it. So what is the one way it is going to remind you of this every single day? Are you going to write your theme at the top of your journal every single day to remind you? But not only to write, but to live it, like to ask yourself, all right, this is the year of expansion. What do I need to do today to get there? Because otherwise, what is the meaning? We're gonna do it, we're gonna spend time here, and then we're just gonna forget about it. So it has to be an execution on it every single day. Otherwise, those are just words, and they just gonna go poof in the air.
Awesome. So I think we're going to wrap it up with that. If you have any additional questions, just again, we can stay on here and do any kind of Q&A. Also, I just put into the chat, I put 2 links. One is for the men's Freak Mode 40 6-week challenge, and one is for the women's. If you look into the chat, I just posted them in there, the links in there. If you're not already, some people here are already in the coaching group, already part of that. So, but if you're not, this starts on January 5th. So it starts on Monday. And it's for 6 weeks, for 40 days, a little more than 6 weeks, actually. It's a daily discipline habit challenge. That's a full video course, but included with that is you have full access. On the men's one, you have full access to the men's group coaching program, which is the Freak Father Alliance. We meet every week on Zoom for a 60-minute Zoom session. And we have daily interaction with daily check-ins for accountability on a private community app. And then also included in both of those is a full online fitness training program. It's a whole separate, pretty much, program we run that's included into this program. So for that huge discounted price, you have access into the Daily Discipline Habit Challenge. You have access into the men's or women's coaching group, and full access into the men's or women's fitness training program, which is the Infinite Freak Fitness Formula. So all that is included for a huge discounted price on those 2 links that I just posted in the chat. And I'll send them all out to you also in case you aren't able to get into the chat on your phone or whatever. But I'll send those 2 links to you all on email and text. If you have any questions on it, you can ask them right now, or you can reply to the emails and the text with any questions on either one of these programs. But it's a fully inclusive 6-week program. On the men's and the women's program, there's a full membership VIP site, which has thousands of hours of content and personal development work for you in all areas of mindset, family, fitness, and business. And there's also the course itself, which every day you're doing together, a start date where we know exactly what day you're on of that Freak Mode 40 course. And then we kind of get updates and hold you accountable on the weekly coaching calls and on the daily check-ins. There's a full daily debrief, which Kenny's been doing now for years. The daily debrief is basically what we did here today, but on a daily basis. It's exactly this on a daily basis, this kind of reflection and goal setting and wins and gratitude. It's really a self-reflection journaling drill you should be doing every day, but you do that every day with the group, so you're being held accountable for it. And I'm literally going through those every single day for every person in the men's group, and Eva's doing it in the women's group. And then you also have access to the weekly group coaching call. So imagine this, like a Zoom call, the men's and women's separate groups. Like this, we meet every week and we dive deep into it on the different topics and whatever the different men or women are going through that week to constantly get better. That's what this Freak Mode 40 is. So if you go to the links down there, you can click on those links and register directly in there. There's a huge discount, like 75% discount or more on those programs, because all that's included, and it starts January 5th. So get that registered in now if you haven't done it already, if you're not already part of the program. If you guys in here are already parts of the program, but even those of you that weren't on camera or weren't able to participate on the camera or audio, make sure you click on those links and get set up. And if you have any questions, shoot them at any time, or any questions now, you could put it out there. If not, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for participating. Tons of interaction. That's what this is all about. So this is implementation. We're actually doing the work together. We are interacting. You're getting ideas. You're communicating. You're contributing. And it makes this so much better. And thanks for jumping on. And thanks for contributing.
Thank you so much, guys, for being here with
Nice
us.
seeing everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. I'll talk to you later. Reach out if you need anything.
Yes. Thank you.
Jesus.
I've been holding for so long.
Yeah.